Welcome to the second video in this series, where I'll be taking you through all the details you'll need to know so that you can start speedrunning MechWarrior 3. Today we'll be looking at the inventory glitch. The setting of the MechWarrior 3 campaign involves a commando team, cut off behind enemy lines and without support. There is no economy, free market or battalion supplies. The only weapons and equipment you have is the battlefield salvage that you pick up along the way. This means the player is forced to make do with whatever Frankenstein mech loadouts they can scrounge together, to conserve ammo and armour lest they go into battle short on both, to struggle against all odds. At least, that's what was supposed to happen. But instead, one incredibly simple glitch puts paid to that in a big way. In this video on MechWarrior 3 speedrunning, we're going to go from resource strapped and struggling to all conquering and unstoppable. Just what we need for cutting down the enemy in record time. Before completely destroying the game's resource management mechanic, we need to understand the system and how it works. Resources in MechWarrior 3 can be divided into two categories, mechs and everything else, with everything else covering weapons, ammunition and equipment. Besides our first mech and starting inventory, every other resource in the game is acquired through battlefield salvage. This itself occurs in two different ways. There is predetermined salvage given to the player at scripted points of the campaign, and there is the salvage acquired from enemies destroyed in previous missions. For mechs we destroy in mission, there is a chance that we will be able to recover them as salvage. Destroying the legs increases that chance, but it's never a certainty. But for everything else, if it was on a mech or vehicle that we destroyed, it is available to salvage. In summary, by destroying a mech in a mission, we might salvage it, but the items it was carrying will be available every time, regardless of if we salvage the mech or not. This detail is important to understand, as we will use it to plan our run, knowing what will be available to us at what point. The simplest explanation of the inventory glitch is that the game isn't checking our inventory quantities when loading a saved mech loadout. Here we are at the end of Operation 1 Mission 1. We have 4 LRM-5 available to use. 2 are on the mech and 2 are in our inventory. If I was working on a mech loadout here, I would only be able to use 4 LRM-5. But I want to use more than that. I have a saved loadout that uses 9 LRM-5. I built this loadout in the Instant Action Mech Lab, where items are available in an unlimited quantity. I can load this 9 LRM-5 build because the game isn't checking how many LRM-5s I have in my inventory. Instead, it just checks that I have at least 1 LRM-5. In this case we have 4, and it then creates the rest out of thin air. When we strip the mech, we now have 9 LRM-5 in our inventory. This also works with salvage. At the end of Operation 1 Mission 2, we salvaged 2 Clan LRM-10. That's scripted salvage, it will happen every time. Same as before, I can build a mech with those 2 Clan LRM-10, but I want to use more than that, so I go to my saved loadout that has 4, which the game happily allows me to use. You may also have noticed that we only salvaged 400 rounds of LRM-10, but this loadout uses 480. This glitch doesn't just work for weapons, but also works for ammunition, equipment, the lot. However, it is important to know that the glitch will not create any more items beyond what is needed to complete the saved loadout. With our 9 LRM-5 example, I can't put those LRM-5 back into the inventory and then glitch in another 9, because the loadout is able to be completed without needing to glitch in any more. This detail becomes important when dealing with your lance mates, as you might have difficulty in glitching in multiples of the same loadout. To get around this, I use a specific saved loadout that carries more weapons, ammo, heat sinks, all that sort of stuff, than what I actually want to use. This way I will always have spare in the inventory, which then allows for the glitch to be completed without issue. And the final detail, if you didn't pick up on it, is that we cannot glitch in something we don't already have. We need to have an item in the inventory which we are then duplicating. We're not creating an item that we didn't already have in salvage. By being aware of the items that will be available to us at various points of the run, We can plan ahead and create all our loadouts in the Instant Action Mech Lab. On a full game speedrun, ideally there should be minimal time spent in the inventory and Mech Lab menus. You should be working on just finding the loadout you need, having that set up and ready to go, and quickly clicking through without needing to set anything up during the run. Whilst that covers the inventory glitch that you'll be using throughout a run, there is still one strange variation left to cover. The penultimate mission of the game sees the player fighting alone, with their lance mates not taking part. Your lance mates are actually still in their mechs, they just aren't deployed in that mission. Once you've completed the second to last mission, everyone is back for the final fight. But the inventory does something strange here. Each time you replay the mission, the game duplicates the mechs your lance mates were in and their loadouts at the time. Whilst this could potentially be mildly useful for individual level speedrunning, it's almost certainly useless for full game speedruns, but it's still an interesting oddity to be aware of. It's also amusing to see the 228 Bushwhackers and 2010 LRM-10s that I had on the inventory screen after grinding out this mission. Good times. This glitch is reliable and is a crucial part of all forms of MechWarrior 3 speedrunning, so take the time to familiarise yourself with it and learn how to make it work. It completely changes the way the game is played, and you'll effectively be making use of it in every single mission. And that's the inventory glitch, the key to the 16 ER small laser firefly that will make your speedrunning day. Get out there and have some fun with it. Bye for now.